All right, guys, doing today we about to just talk about Proverbs chapter 1. First things first though, just make sure you like that video, hit a little exit full screen, scroll a bit, like it, and full screen it back up. You feel me? I don't know if this is the first video I'm doing without my do-rag on. Obviously I haven't gotten a haircut. I cut my own hair, but I haven't cut my hair in like 2, 3 weeks. So looking a bit chopped, hairline is not straight anymore. That's just how it goes. I'm thinking about cutting this. Thinking about cutting the baby beard off. You know what I'm saying? We got our dance competition on Saturday, the 15th. So I'm gonna have to cut myself before then. Anyway, talking about Proverbs chapter 1. Proverbs come from Solomon to King David, the king, son of King David. Jeez, if I could speak. Son of King David, one of the richest men in history, one of the wisest men in history, if not the, well, should be the wisest man in history, right? So he says, to know wisdom and instruction, perceive the words of understanding, right? To know wisdom and understanding, to understand the words of insight, to receive the instruction of this wisdom, justice, judgment, and equity, all things of which God delights in, right? To give subtlety to the simple, and to the young man knowledge and discretion. This verse is going to be important, right? A wise man is going to hear and will increase learning. So there's a difference between hearing and listening, right? We can hear anything our ears want us to hear, right? I can hear that there's stuff going on. I may not know what that stuff is because I didn't listen, but I heard it, right? Oh yeah, I heard you talking, but I wasn't listening to you. And then listening brings the understanding, right? So a wise man will hear, and in this case, he's not talking about hearing and listening, but will increase learning, meaning he was listening and is digesting what he heard. And a man of understanding shall attain unto wise counsels, wise people around him, and will listen to the wise people around him, right? He's going to try to take in as much as possible, right? He's going to increase his learning, and that man of understanding shall then attain the counsel of the wise, aka he's going to be making the right moves, right? And to understand a proverb and the interpretation, the words of the wise and their dark sayings, the fear of the Lord is the beginning of that knowledge. So to understand a proverb, aka this whole book and the interpretation of the such, and the words of the wise in the whole, and their dark sayings. Why are they dark? Because following Jesus ain't necessarily easy, right? But the fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge, and fools despise wisdom and instruction. So he says, my son, hear the instruction of thy father, and forsake not the law of thy mother. Now, obviously, he was talking, saying, just listen to your father. Don't forsake your mother. That's also one of the commandments. We know that, right? But it's more so not every single time, just in the instances where you think you should. Now, I don't want to say you think you should as in like, well, they said I should go to bed at 9 p.m. and I don't think I should, so I'm not gonna go. No. That's the case you listen to them, because obviously there must be a good reason. Now, it's not the case where they say like, don't wash the dishes with soap, and you're like, the dishes need to get washed with soap, right? It's a heart posture, right? But also just when you're a kid, right? Follow their instructions, right? We're talking about the wise counsels. The man of understanding shall attain to wise counsels. And obviously it's hard to fully just listen to everything they say and obey everything they say, but once again they're teaching you that relationship, right? We're in a relationship with God, submitting to him the same way a wife submits to their husband, right? Same way a child submits to their parents. They are our first level of submittance, right? You submit to your parents until your young mind can understand a relationship that you should enter with God. So then you know how to submit. They're trying to teach you that. Despite what they're getting you to actually do, they're teaching the submittance, which, could be a good or a bad thing, but you have to learn that. Because if we don't submit to God, that means we're trying to make God submit to us. And if you know, that's not going to work, right? So he says, there shall be an ornament of grace unto thy head, and chains about thy neck. I need this in another translation, I'm not going to lie. For they are a graceful garland for your head, and pendants around your neck, right? These are beautiful things that you have. Think about people who, let me not say that, but think about the fact that you even have parents, if you have parents, right? That's a blessing so many people wish they had. You grew up in a single mother household. That's so many studies that are going to talk about the more things you are susceptible to in this world. More susceptible to go to jail, be on drugs, drop out of high school, get bad grades, all these lower income in the future. All these things just because you lost one parent. So if you have your father to instruct you, if you have a mother to give you the law, right? These are graceful things. You will learn. You will learn from them. Will crown you with grace and chain of honor around your neck, right? This is the beauty of having parents, right? So my sons, and it comes later where there's a proverb that says if you raise your kids up in the right way, right, they're not gonna depart from that when they're older. Why? Because what they taught you, ornament of grace on their head, chains about their neck. So he says, my son, if sinners entice thee, consent thou not. Do not consent, right? So if the sinners say, come with us, let us wait for blood, lurk privily for the innocent without cause, swallow them up alive as the grave and his hold that go down into the pit, we shall find all precious substance and fill our house with spoil. All this type of evil stuff, cast in thy lot among us, let us have one purse. My son, do not walk in the way with them, refrain thy foot from their path. And this can be anything, right? This isn't just people that you say no to. This is your own urges. This is your members, aka your body parts that may say this. May say, I want that. I want that now. Start envying after something. Oh, your neighbor got that new Ferrari. I want that. Want that a little bit too much. Boom. You got to consent not. No, I'm okay with Jesus. We're content here with Jesus. We are content. The Lord is my shepherd. I shall not want. Leads me beside still waters, something, rod and the staff, they comfort you. You know, Psalm 23. You know. Refrain thy foot from their path, right? Leave the devil, or was it? Draw near to God and he will draw near to you. Resist the devil and he will flee from you. What's he come with next? For their feet run to evil, make haste to shed blood. Surely in vain the net is spread in the sight of any bird. Oh. Obviously a trap is set uselessly if the bird can see it, right? If you're setting a trap where somebody can see it, it's useless. Therefore, you have to see these traps. You have to see where they arise and refrain your own foot from that path. You see them laying the trap, get out. You see them laying it down, get out. Go. Don't do it. Back up. You know, all that type of stuff, right? So it says, and they lay in wait for their own blood and lurk privily for their own lives. They're going to lose their own life. So are the ways of everyone that's greedy of gain, which takes away the life of the owners. Why? Because you're greedy of gain. You're not trusting in the Lord. You don't have the love of the Lord within you. Therefore, whatever you do in selfishness, it's just going to mess you up and lose your life. So wisdom cries outside. She utters her voice in the streets. She cries in the highest place of concourse, and in the openings of the gates in the city, she utters her words, saying, how long, ye simple ones, will you live in simplicity? And the scorners delight in their scorning, and their fools hate knowledge. And there's three people here in this imagery, right? The simple ones, the ones that don't understand yet, that live without thinking. The scorners who just scorn, they just everything, just kiss their teeth at everything. Like, what's that gonna do? What's, like, bro, what? Like, you know? And then the fools who just don't listen, right? The simple ones, they just live, they live in stupidity. But the fools, they actively seek it out just to hate on it, right? So turn you at my reproof. Behold, I'll pour out my spirit unto you. I'll make my words known unto you. It's what wisdom says. And if the fear of the Lord starts wisdom, we can even interpret this as God, right? Seeing all these people. And guess what? He calls us because I've called. You refused. I stretched out my hand and you didn't look. You've set at naught. You've made nothing all my counsel and wouldn't have any of my reproof. And I'll laugh at your calamity. I'll mock when your fear comes. But God won't do that. He doesn't delight in the evil. When your fear comes as desolation, when your destruction comes as a whirlwind, when distress and anguish comes upon you, then they shall call upon me, but I will not answer. Right? When everything gets bad, you know where to turn to. But by that point, you can't find them. But they that hated knowledge did not choose the fear of the Lord. Boom, there it is. They wouldn't have any of my counsel. They despised all my warnings. Therefore shall they eat the fruit of their own way, and filled with their own desires. That's like Romans chapter 1. They were so filled with their desires, the Lord gave them over to the lusts of their flesh. For the turning away of the simple shall slay them, and the prosperity of fools shall destroy them. Turning away the simple. They turned away the simple. Even that. That's their own greedy gain. They wanted the wisdom for yourself. You turn away the simple. Come on. And the prosperity of the fools. The fact that the fools that hate knowledge are doing good. Destruction. But whoso listens to me shall dwell safely and be quiet from the fear of people. All right. That's going to be the end of the video. Hope you guys have yourselves a fantastic rest of your day. Peace.